City of Chicago.
Oh yeah.
But he has a research organization like charity and stuff like that going, that they do a lot of work. Like he actually started out doing ketogenic diets for epilepsy, and he's actually like curing epilepsy with a ketogenic diet.
Yeah.
Now he's doing it with brain tumors.
Wow.
Yeah, with just a ketogenic diet and like Don's drugs, just just pill form sort of treatment.
Yeah.
Really mild treatment.
Yeah.
So
quite
really,
tolerable.
Yeah, really, really tolerable stuff. But he's written a book. He's written a couple of books. Cancer as a metabolic disease.
Yeah.
But really good, really, really interesting stuff.
There's definitely there's certainly some mutations that are clearly involved in metabolism. There's this sort of type of mutation that we see in a lot of blood cancers called IDH mutations, and they specifically involved in processing of sort of sugars and stuff like that. So it is quite interesting.
Yeah, well,
and it leads to this sort of blockade of normal cell development, and when you target the gene, it actually, these people's leukemias just go into remission. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, but I hadn't heard of this sort of approach. But so
he's started off following up from Otto Warburg's work.
Yeah.
From the 20s, 30s, and 50s and that.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of carried on from there.
Yeah, cool.
So they're really, really, really interesting stuff.
Yeah, that is amazing. Yeah.
So, and they're doing all sorts of stuff too. With it, I saw in England actually a study they did with diabetes. They actually cured type 2 diabetes purely with a ketogenic diet.
Yeah, that is. I've seen that a few times. Yeah. My old man had diabetes, and he's like me. And
that's the thing.
But he just changed his diet. He just cut out zero carbohydrate, just protein, and maybe simple vegetables, and bang, it's gone. Just amazing. Just changed it.
It's incredible, isn't
it? Yeah.
But that's the thing, like, you think a person's slim, lean, you think they're healthy, so you don't think they'd have diabetes.
Yeah.
In fact, it's like, we're just grazing all day, so insulin is spiking all the time.
Yeah.
So, of course,
and naturally,
and that's what diabetes is, just high blood sugar.
Yeah. And we're naturally probably not supposed to eat, apart from some little berries or some sort of forage stuff, and then every so often we have a big protein meal, and then we don't eat for another few days.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, we're not, we're just meant to just feast and fast.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense why Indigenous people have such a high rate of type 2 diabetes, is potentially like their bodies are even more attuned to being effective starvers. You know what I mean? Like
when they start eating the Western diet.
But if they're actually set up to probably be really high functioning in a starvation situation. For like millennia. You know what I mean?
Well, if you look at the Inuit, they ate nothing but fatty meat, and they never had any vitamin deficiency or any disease.
And all their fat was a lot of it's rich in all the fish oil stuff, which is they
got all the omega-3s, D3, K2, or everything like that. So their development was far more developed. They were far more developed than we were, physically. So they were a lot stronger. Even was it the original, the Native American, the Cherokees?
They
were all 7 foot. Before they started eating the Western diet. They were really tall, big people. Because all they ate was buffalo. So, and drank blood and shit.
I know. It's all the other stuff you put with it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy.
Yeah. the crap that we eat now, all the manufactured food.
I know.
I think that's what's killing us. It's
it is, and it's killing the world because it's all this shit is coming with it, like all the plastics and everything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, there it is, guys. 12 years this month since my diagnosis. My next appointment now, he does want to bring it out until September. So it gives me 8 months. He's extended it out. So we can do a bit of a 10-year anniversary since the transplant. Well, it's been a long time. Okay. Hello everyone, I'm DC. Welcome to me Learning to Live Again. I hope you're all well, having a great day or night wherever you are. All right, so as you just saw in the opening, I'm just going over my blood tests. I had blood tests again a couple of days ago, and I was speaking with my oncologist, bit of a conversation. This month is exactly 12 years since my original stage 4 follicular lymphoma blood cancer diagnosis. Then 2 years of chemotherapy, and to the day almost, definitely to the month, I was very high stage 4 again. So January 2012 and January 2014, I was diagnosed again, as very high stage 4 follicular lymphoma. And then I had a clinical trial and a stem cell transplant. Yeah, so 3 years solid of chemotherapy, some of it extremely heavy dose, and left me, bedridden for many years afterwards. And a lot of stuff followed, depression and anxiety, all sorts of things, mental issues, mental health, and just cognitive function. Actually, cognitive function was very low for a long time before carnivore and before a ketogenic style diet. But carnivore now for 10 months. So far from my first blood test in carnivore, strict carnivore, my blood markers all leapt 8 to 10 points. The second and third blood test, all of my markers crept up a little bit more, not as dramatic, but they did climb, and in fact put my bloods into a normal healthy range for the first time in that 12 years. Actually, first time for even longer, because it took a while for me to be actually diagnosed because of the earthquake in Japan where I was living at the time. So for a very long time, the first time my blood markers are in a normal healthy range. Very low in that range, I admit, but still in a normal healthy range. So, and it does fluctuate because of preparation beforehand, before blood tests and things like that. Exercise, activity will determine what your blood test results will be. So I always tell people, if you're going in for a blood test, try and limit your activity level for at least 2 days before you have it done to get a more accurate reading. Okay, it does affect your blood results. Okay, any kind of activity and what you're eating does affect your blood results. So don't get too serious about one blood test either, because they do fluctuate. And if it's about consistency over time. It's not about one particular blood test. Okay, all right. So with that, now this one with my oncologist this time was quite an extensive blood test. Okay, we measured all sorts of like nutrients and things like that as well. So I thought you might be interested. Let me see. I've got 2 pages to go through of results. Okay, so there's quite a bit. You can see there. All right. So I will explain some of them. I have some of them are a little bit difficult to understand. All right. But we're going through some of the chemistry now. This one's kind of interesting, sodium, because I eat a lot of salt on the carnivore diet. Now, a normal healthy range for sodium is 135 to 145 mil per liter, milliliters. Okay, so mine's at 139, so it's perfect, right in the middle there. Potassium is 3.5 to 5.5 for normal healthy range. Okay, mine is 4. So that that's very good, very healthy. That's all good. Chloride between 95 and 110. Mine is 106. So that's good too. Bicarbonate 24, and the normal healthy range is between 20 and 32. Right? So my diet it seems to be absolutely perfect for the my nutrients and these sorts or this part of it anyway. Now, onion gap. Now, this is something a lot of people don't know, but may be interested because of it is what it is your electrolyte content in your blood. Okay, and carnivores, they're always on about getting your electrolytes and while you're training and exercising or anything else. For me, I don't use electrolytes. I just use a good mineral salt. Okay, a good red mineral salt. So my onion gap now anywhere below 16 on the health range is good. Okay, now the onion gap actually measures the difference between, or the gap between, the negative charge and positive charge electrolytes. Okay, so in your blood, like if it's too high, your blood is more acidic. Okay, so if your onion gap is too high, like above 16 milliliters per liter, okay, then your blood is too acidic. Okay, mine's at 8. Okay, so it's very healthy. And as I said, I don't take electrolytes. All I take is a good red mineral salt. Okay, calcium is great. Like between 2.1 and 2.6, it's at 2.229. Perfect. Phosphate, middle of the range, all good. Urea. Now, this is another thing. I only have one kidney. Okay, so we did quite an extensive test on my kidneys last one as well, the kidney function. Now, I only have one kidney because the largest tumor that I had before treatment was sitting on both my kidneys, and the left one shrunk down to nothing. So it doesn't have any sort of real function. It's kind of more like a cheerleader for the other one, Originally, though, even the right one was also down to just 12% capacity. So this is one of the reasons why they only gave me a couple of months to live, because my kidney function just wasn't going to last that long. All right. So down to the urea, and this is good. Between 3.5 and 8.5, and mine is 7.1. Okay, so it's perfect. Now, I do drink a lot of water, which I am trying to cut back on a little bit because of deuterium and things like that. But at the moment, I'm still functioning very well. Urate, okay, urate is between 0.200 and 0.500. Mine is 0.377. So we're good. Creatine, creatinine, not creatine, creatinine. Okay, now this is going to be higher because my muscle bulk. Like these are like the standards for these blood tests are all set by the same people that, you know, tell you to have low cholesterol and all that sort of garbage. Okay. So, you know, these standards are set on a BMI. Now, my BMI is, for my height, is only 75 kilos is overweight. I am 90 kilos and lean. Okay. So because of my muscle content on my body, the creatinine is a higher count. Okay. So it doesn't mean that it's unhealthy. It just means that, you know, I have more muscle bulk for my size. That's all. So my creatinine is 156. Now, the normal healthy range for this BMI is between 60 and 110. All right. So that I just take with a grain of salt. That doesn't mean anything. All right. Okay, so the EGFR. Now, the EGFR basically is the kidney function, like total kidney function. Okay, and it should be above, on here, the BMI, it should be above 59. Mine is at 62. All right, so like if you had 2 kidneys, that would be much higher. But for 1 kidney, I'm doing very well. You know, it's functioning at more than like at, you know, for 2 kidneys functioning at 100%. My 1 kidney is doing it more than 50% of that work. It's doing at least 60 or 62%. So that 1 kidney is probably working, you know, well over 100%. It's doing a good job anyway. So, okay, so random, got random glucose. Okay, that's not going to be very high because, you know, I'm carnivore. So let me see, reference is 3.6 to 7.7. Mine is at 4.6, so that's all good. Now, total protein between 63 and 80. Now, I hadn't eaten before this blood test, so my protein is a little bit low. So it's actually right in the middle. It's 70. So we're a good albumin. Now, between 32 and 44 is healthy. Okay. Mine is at 40. So that's good too. Globulin. Now we'll see between 23 and 43. Okay. Grams per liter. So mine is at 24. Now, T cell, okay, total bilirubin. Now, bilirubin is, let's see. Now, this is a yellowy sort of tissue that is left in the liver after processing everything. So, like, this is a test to find how well your liver is working. Because, you know, when I was, this is important as well because, you know, at stage 4 blood cancer, my liver, my spleen, everything was affected by the cancer. Okay, all the processes, all my organs. Okay, so the liver makes bile, okay, to help you digest your food. Okay, and the bile has bilirubin, okay, in it. Most of it comes from breaking down old red blood cells. So the higher the bilirubin, the less your liver is functioning. Okay, so your bilirubin should be low to in the test. So that process, so it shows that you're healthy, or your liver is healthy. Okay. Now, anything under 21 units per liter. Okay, so mine is 7. Okay, so my liver's doing great, really good. So liver function is great, actually. That's really good. I didn't even go into that with my oncologist. Okay, so there are a few different things here that all test the liver. So I've got ALP. Okay, so just go into my notes. Okay. And so, yeah, actually, this is all really good. That's all good. Like ALP, this is all part of liver function. Okay, so between 35 and 110 units per liter, mine is at 80. Okay, so that's really good. AST, between 10 and 40 units per liter is a normal healthy range. Mine is at 24. ALT, it is between 5 and 40 units per liter is healthy. It's at 26. Now, back in 2014, these were all like 4 times higher. So my liver function was very low, very, very low. So that's a dramatic, function increase. Really good. So GGT is between 5 and 50 units per liter. Now that used to be 40. Now it's 11. So that's really good. My liver function has dramatically improved. LDH. So we're getting into cholesterol now. LDH is 139, and anything below 250 units per liter is healthy. And mine's down to 139, so it's really good. My liver function, I'm surprised that actually it's very good. Okay, cholesterol, total cholesterol. Okay, so anything below 5.6 milliliters per liter. Okay, now again, if you are tracking cholesterol, low cholesterol is not a healthy thing. Okay, and I've explained a lot about that in other videos. High cholesterol, you need cholesterol for hormone production, for things, especially for your immune system. For example, vitamin D3, which is the only vitamin D that we can actually absorb and produce. Our body actually produces it from cholesterol, which acts as mainline defense in our immune system, helps us absorb minerals and vitamins and everything like that. But it's also our sunscreen. When we go out in the sun, we then secrete it, and that acts as our sunscreen. Okay, we don't actually need to supplement it. Okay, we do produce it from cholesterol, and it also produces your testosterone, which is also very important. Now, recent studies have shown that increased higher testosterone levels give you a lower risk of cancer. Okay, the same with vitamin D, and the same with cholesterol. Okay, so low cholesterol is very detrimental, especially as you age, mentally, physically, emotionally. Okay, so cholesterol is at 5.4, so that's very good. It has actually come down a little bit, but I'll work on that. Triglycerides, anything below 2.1, again, mine is at 1.2, so that's all perfect. Okay, so now we get into the hematology. Okay, the other stuff, other people might be interested in, but this is the stuff that is more important to me. Aside from the liver function, which I'm really happy with, because that was actually my liver was functioning very low or very poorly originally, going through treatment and things like that. All right, so going into hematology, okay, which is the blood. Okay, so hemoglobin, anything between 135 and 175 is a normal healthy range. Okay, mine is at 151. Really good. Okay, hematocrit, now anything between 0.40 and 0.54 is normal healthy range. Okay, mine's at 0.45. Now red cell count, okay, is between 4.5. Now this is count of in tens of thousands. Okay, so between 4.5 and 6.5 is normal healthy range. Mine is at 5.3. Okay, that's awesome. That is really good. Okay. And now we're getting to the white cells. Okay, so MCV. Now, MCV is a mean corpuscular volume. Okay, so it measures the average size of volume of red cells. Okay, it has a utility if in determining like let me see. They measure this when if you have like anemia and that sort of thing. Like the volume, the size of the cells will be quite small. Okay. So this. So it's pretty good. All right. So between 80 and 100, mine is at 88. All right, so very good. White cell count now. We are going to the white cells, which is also part of the immune system and things like that. Okay, so between 3.5 and 10 is a normal healthy range. Again, low, but in the normal healthy range. Mine is at 5.0. So it's really good. Neutrophils. Now, neutrophils are a type of white cell, okay, leukocytes, that act as your immune system's first line of defense. Okay, so 3 types of white cells. Okay, you have granulocytes. Okay, you have lymphocytes and you have monocytes. Okay, now next is the lymphocytes. Actually, neutrophils, a normal healthy range is 1.5 to 6.5, and my neutrophils are at 3.23. Lymphocytes. Okay, that's the next white cell count. That is between 1 and 4. Okay, and mine at 1.42. Okay, so that's really good. Now back into 2014, my lymphocytes were at 0.28. Okay, so that was really, really low. My monocytes, okay, now a healthy range for monocytes is between 0 and 0.9. Okay, so I don't have to go very far. My monocytes now are at 0.45, so really good. Eosinophils, okay, between 0 and 0.6. Mine are at 0.24. Basophils. My basophils between 0 and 0.15. Okay, and they are 0.02. Very good. Platelets. Now, platelets, they, like a healthy count, is between 150,000 to 450,000 like platelets per microliter of blood. Okay, so like platelets just they basically form clots. They stop you from bleeding to death if you get a cut and that sort of thing. Okay, and they're made in your bone marrow. It's kind of important if you have blood cancer because that also it is affected by your bone marrow. When you're stage 4, and all the bone marrow and everything like that is cancerous, like malignant. It's so you have that's all the spongy soft tissue in your bones. Okay, the marrow. So it's quite important, but it does fluctuate. It's your platelets do fluctuate depending on your activity and your diet. Okay, so if you are quite active and you have a blood test, your platelets will be quite low. Okay, but between let me see, 150 and 450 thousand per microliter. Okay, so mine are at 171. So that's an increase. Like, let me see, the first test, it was it jumped to 140 I think it was 138, 140, about 138. And the couple of tests afterwards, they were 150, 153, and now 171. So, yeah, doing really, really well. All right, so that is my blood test result. Fighting blood cancer on the carnivore diet, it is working, and I'm very healthy. It's maybe like my blood count's maybe a little bit lower than a normal healthy person, but they are climbing still. They are getting better. My organ function is fantastic. My kidney function is great, and my liver function is fantastic. So everything's going really, really well. And I just, yeah, it's a little bit difficult to believe that simply by eating fatty meat, okay, that you could be this healthy. While going through, I still have blood cancer. Okay, it's follicular lymphoma, so it's every blood test is a little bit stressful because it could be back. Okay, every time you get your blood tested, they could tell you that it's come back, and it could really change everything again. But at the moment, I'm stable. Not only stable, but getting better. And it's not just from the cancer; it's the side effects of the treatment that I have been through, because the treatment that I went through was such heavy dose. There was a lot of organ damage. Okay, and I'm talking about every organ, including my brain, liver function, kidney function, everything like that was all extremely difficult on my my organs, and my muscle tissue, bone tissue, everything. So it's been a dramatic difference. It really has. All right, guys. So I hope that's helped any curious people about my blood test. And as you can see, it is going very well. So I hope it helps. And take care, everyone. And I will see you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.